Hi, this is the card we're going to make today. I've been doing a lot of a technique called Emboss Resist, and so today I'm going to show you how I actually created this Emboss Resist image right here. The stamps that I'm using today, illustrated here, is called a happy heart, and it is available starting today in our new mini catalog. If you haven't received yours from me yet, please give me a call. I have some extras at home and I can give you one. That's if you're local in the Ottawa area. Okay? To begin with, to do an image that is Emboss Resist, you need our craft ink, or you could use Versamark. And today I'm using craft ink on glossy white cardstock. Now the glossy cardstock, one side is shiny and one side is just regular, and this piece is 2 1/4 by 3 1/4 inches wide. I'm going to take the image from a happy heart, ink it in the craft ink, and craft ink is pigment ink and it's sticky ink. It takes a little longer to dry. It is, like all our inks, friendly to scrapbookers. Now I've put this ink on here, you cannot see it at all. And what I'm going to do is take my clear embossing powder and sprinkle it on this image. It will stick. I don't know if you can see that. The clear embossing powder will stick to the places where the craft ink is. Don't know if you can see it there. Then I'm simply going to take my heat tool and heat it. When you heat this, you can see, at least I can see, that it will melt. And as soon as you see that it's melted, then you move your heat gun that's all melted. And I'm going to take my image, put away my craft ink, and take out dye-based classic ink, and this one is Bashful Blue, and I'm going to make my image show up by using a sponge. I'm going to dip, this is one of our round sponges available in our catalog. I have tried other sponges you get at the dollar store. They don't distribute the ink the same way. So what you do is ink up your sponge with the Bashful Blue classic ink. That's what I did. Now you can smush this like this, rubbing it, or sponge. Either way it works. On my original card I did both because I really wanted the place where the ink was from the embossing to be very clearly covered, and then I wanted it to fade out. Now to make my edges show up, I simply sponge along the edge like this. And that gives a nice contrast to your edge. It's almost like double mounting. You've mounted your cardstock another time on Bashful Blue. Then I'm taking this image, and you see I've left your numbers on there. This one is 3 7/16 by 2 7/16. I'm just using my snail to adhere this. And you activate your glue by rubbing. And I finally mount it again. And this is Orchid Opulence. The Orchid Opulence again is, I think, 2/16 larger. I don't know if you can see that. 3 5/8 by 2 1/2. And when I put these on, I usually look just in the corners. My corner's not even there. If my corners are even, then I know the whole thing will be even. And rub it to activate the glue. I just used a white base for my card today, and I put our designer patterned designer paper, and this one's in Bashful Blue. And I'll just measure. I think this is probably 2 inches. That's what I usually cut them. Let me just check. Yeah, nope, almost 2 inches. Along the bottom of my card. And I'm going to tie a ribbon, and it usually takes about 14 inches of ribbon. And I see that I need to trim my cardstock. Sometimes you have cardstock that's just slightly wider than 8.5. I don't know why it happens that way, but sometimes it does. So you take your ribbon, wrap it around once, and I simply knot my ribbon and trim it after. To get that nice look, I hold it. I like to hold the top one. That's not quite done, so I have to fiddle with it. And I have to retie that one. And this goes here. Trim your edges, your ribbon after. I'm going to have fun retying it after I do this. But there you have it. I put pop dots or dimensionals underneath my final version, and I don't have them handy with me now, so I'll show you my final version. Oops, I knew I forgot a step. Sorry. I did put a crystal brad in, and I used my matte pack and my piercing tool. This is from our kit of tools. And the matte pack has a protective piece underneath. I simply went to the center of my flower and pierced it. Then I took one of my crystal brads and I insert it right in the matte pack. It stays there nicely. Not this time, of course, because you're all watching. And I press down on the other side with the end of my tool to get it as flat as I can. Then with pop dots, it's adhered. And I do think that adds up quite a little bit to put the sparkle on it. And that's Emboss Resist using sponging technique. I do have other ways of doing it. We can use watercolor crayons and watercolor wonder brushes, aqua pens, but I'm going to show you that in another video. That's all for now.